Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and we're here with Dr. Charles Parker, frequent flyer on Attention Talk Radio and Attention Talk Video. Dr. Parker, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jeff. Really appreciate you having me.
We recently did a show on Attention Talk Radio about attention deficit disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
And in that show, you made a comment to me that brain imaging changed your life as a medical professional. And that's just a very simple question, but can you explain that to me and our listeners?
Well, Jeff, really what's happened is I was chasing evidence a long time before I got into brain imaging. And what happened was I was doing psychopharmacology, medication talks all over the country, speaking about how the medicines work, neurotransmitters, all that sort of thing. And I came across the book by Daniel Amen, You Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, and read the book and called up Dr. Amen and said, you know, I really would like to work with you because you're really using contemporary evidence, brain evidence, to really help people understand how this whole ADHD thing works. And he's written another book, New ADHD, it's not New ADHD Medication Rules.
That was yours.
That was my book. But no, he wrote another book on changing in ADHD or something like that. But it was another book that talked about that prefrontal cortex. How did it change my life? I saw thousands of people, scans. I didn't see thousands of people, but I saw thousands of scans and hundreds of people actually looking at brain imaging. And when you sit down with a person as close as you and I are right here, and we look at the brain, and I'm talking to you about your brain, and I know what your symptoms are, it absolutely changes the idea that how you look is who you are. Because how you look is not who you are. It's only part of who you are. And we got to look. We'll deal with how you look, but we got to. If we could look at your brain, it's going to do it. That took me into this whole next level that I'm into in terms of neurophysiology and all the things that we can use to actually change neurophysiology, which is a whole nother topic. But that's how brain imaging changed my life. I want to thank Dan Amen for coming over. He's Christopher Columbus, discovered a new land, and it's too bad that he's received so much heat until recently when the individuals who are tied up with the National Institutes of Mental Health have said, hey, brain imaging is really the future. Why? Because we see clear evidence as opposed to making up labels and chasing labels.
So if I were to simplify, how it changed your life is it brought some tangibility and brought things to the biology and the physical side of it and intrigued you enough to begin to study that, which you have continued to do in your practices and writing a lot of books about medications and the drugs. And let's look at the biology. Let's look at the physical part of what's kind of going on, not just the subjective information, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I've gone from brain imaging to how many times a day you go number 2.
For more of that, go check out some of our others. So for our listeners who want to learn about you, core site,
corepsych.com and corebrain.org. We do have some training over at corebrain.org and corepsych.com. I got about 400 articles on all these topics out there, and some of them are Jeff right there. We've loaded Jeff right up on some of his interviews right there on CorePsych.
Well, you're always great to interview. So again, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Take care, everybody.
See you guys.